Third and long. It's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Emmanuel Ogbah. To drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Watch out for Hill on the return. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. On first down, Mahomes. This for his running back, McCoy. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He'll get this one to Switzer. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal. McCoy, the lone man in the backfield on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here's McCoy. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Throwing now is Mahomes.
And that's caught. It's Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
The defense are going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, we want to remind you that coming up tomorrow night on Monday Night Football, we have a couple of throwback heavyweights of the AFC from the 1970s, the Dolphins and the Steelers from Heinz Field. Kickoff at 8:15 Eastern Time. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Jones. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Here's Mahomes to throw. Gets this one to Hill. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. It's Hill, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes?
And this is caught. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 47 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's McCoy, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
McCoy, the lone man in the backfield on 2nd and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run it with McCoy. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. LaShawn McCoy with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Rodgers now on first down. The connection made. It's Graham. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. 20, 10, and he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Caught by Jones. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Kirk Cousins leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Matt Ryan, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. And finally, on Monday Night Football, 2 of the super teams of the 1970s back at it. Dolphins and Steelers from Heinz Field to wrap up Week 8. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer.
Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. And he was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 2nd down. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. 3rd down here.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Ryan Switzer, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Setting aside the matchup of Mahomes and Rodgers for a minute, this game is one of the NFL 100 Series bouts that they're having this season. And we saw the Packers in this game last week when they faced the Raiders, their opponent in Super Bowl II. This week it's the Chiefs, their opponent in the very first Super Bowl way back in 1967. The Packers winning both of those Super Bowls. And as I mentioned a week ago, Bart Starr, the MVP of both of those games. So they go from 142-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Jones. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. From the 36, Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Rodgers, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Mahomes now to throw, and he's going to be brought down. back at his own 6-yard line.
Let's go, boys.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To try again after the sack. Mahomes. And going. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 35. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 59 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staff.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Mahomes firing complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Hey, give them credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now this time Mahomes will throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And let's face